So the first step in analyzing arguments is to always identify the conclusion first. We want to find out what the arguer is trying to persuade us of and identify that claim as the conclusion. It just so happens that the very first sentence of this passage contains the conclusion, but we'll want to rephrase that or paraphrase it. And so that's what I did here. I paraphrased, we should reconsider our opposition to Medicare for all and support it, into we should support Medicare for all. From there, it's just a matter of identifying the rest of the relevant claims and giving them numbers. And the rest of the claims on this one happen to be all of the premises that support the conclusion. So let's take a look at a few of the claims here and look at the way that they are related to one another structurally in support of the conclusion. Let's take a look at claims 2 and 3, which I broke out here, and take a look at that. It says the taxes would be less than what an average family pays in health insurance costs from copayments and deductibles, and we should all support policies that reduce healthcare costs to average families. So what the arguer is talking about here is the taxes associated with Medicare for all are going to be less than what an average family is already paying. So Medicare for all is going to cost something, and it's going to come in a tax policy. And that's connected to claim 3 here, which says that we should all support policies that reduce healthcare costs to average families. When you have claims, 2 claims or 3 claims that have similar phrases or similar terms with one another, you're probably looking at claims that are linked together, that are dependent upon one another. So what these 2 claims here say is the taxes would be less and we should support that type of tax policy that's going to reduce healthcare costs. So then let's take a look at claims 4 and 5. Claim 4 starts with the word plus, so which signals to me that the arguer is intending to make a separate claim that's supportive of the conclusion, but separate from what came before. So it says, no one would go bankrupt from having to pay for major illnesses, and everyone would finally have health insurance regardless of whether their employer provided it or not. I don't see any similar phrasing here, so that signals to me that these are independent. So 4 converges independently, support 1, and 5 supports 1 independently as well. So the overall structure here is 2 and 3 are linked together to support 1, and 4 and 5 independently converge to support 1. So why are we doing this analysis and diagramming? One of the reasons is for the purposes of evaluating an argument. When we evaluate an argument, we're looking at whether or not the premises, those claims in the premises, are in fact true and whether they're sufficient in supporting the conclusion. When we have claims that are linked together, like 2 and 3, both of these have to be true to support the conclusion. So if it turns out that Medicare for all taxes would actually not be less than what people already pay in health insurance costs and copayments, then that whole section fails to support 1. Whereas 4 and 5, since they're independent, 4 could not be true and 5 could still support it. Or 5 could not be true and 4 could still support it. So once we have the structure, then it comes down to whether in fact those claims are true, and that's why it's important to understand the relationship among those premises. So I hope that assignment was helpful in developing your skills on analysis and being able to diagram arguments. And as we move forward, we'll be able to use these skills and apply them when we evaluate arguments.